he make it on field? Jeff Gordon's got a good handle of the car.
White flag for Jeff Gordon. 1 lap to go. Does he have enough?
Unbelievable. The 07 car, Clint Boyer trying to run him down, but doesn't look like Gordon's going to have a problem. His car's stuck good. He's got a half a lap to go.
It's been since 1999 that Jeff Gordon has been able to come home and win at this racetrack. He has not finished a race in 3 years, but folks, tonight, Jeff Gordon wins again at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
It was 13 years ago, Jeff Gordon got his first ever Cup victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, at Lowe's Motor Speedway, and tonight he comes through victorious. Jeff, what were those final moments of that race? His beautiful wife Ingrid here. What were those closing moments like for you?
Well, I can't tell you how many times we tried to give this one away. Oh, man, I don't know where to start. You know, just an incredible day for the DuPont Chevrolet team, and I got to thank all these guys. I mean, they just never gave up, you know, and what an awesome day today was. I mean, this is what we've been looking for, is getting us a win in Charlotte. What a great comeback, and I owe it all to those guys right there, Steve Letard, all the guys on this team, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, engine department, Chastity, we're here at home, so we got to thank all those guys and all the people that work so hard right here locally.
Well, Doc, you know, teammates Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, they've swapped points positions every race of the chase. Most recently coming last weekend at Talladega, where Jeff Gordon won the race and regained the points lead. Well, it could be a similar situation tonight. The two drivers combined have won 9 times here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Now the twist, Jeff Gordon has failed to finish 5 of his last races here. But Jimmy Johnson, on the other hand, has won 5 of the last 9 races. If history repeats itself, Jimmy Johnson goes to victory lane. Jimmy Johnson regains the points lead. Let's go to Mike Massaro.
He's never been able to put it together at the end of the race. He's fast right now.
Well, right now we're hearing the 12 car is a little bit too loose at the moment. That's the reason he's running the top side of the racetrack, trying to get some side bite, trying to get the back of that car to stick to the track better.
Some of the guys who like this racetrack, we talk about the 4 wins for Jeff Gordon. In front of him is the 17 car, Matt Kenseth. His very first career victory came at this racetrack.
Teammates Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson battling for the lead, and everyone else in hot pursuit.
And I was down there talking to Steve Letard with a 24 car, and he says he makes Jeff, and Jeff's philosophy is the same, to run that car on the bottom of the racetrack, all practice long, tune on the car on the bottom, and then if he has to move up to the top, they'll adjust.
Which former NASCAR Nextel Cup champion has the best chance to catch points leader Jeff Gordon? Bobby Labonte 7th. Gilliland 8th, and the 25 car, Casey Mears. And what a May Casey Mears had here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. We asked him the thoughts and remembrances about that very first Cup win here back in.
And Jeff Gordon started 4th. He's currently running 12th. He's actually moved up 2 spots to 10th. His car's coming around a little bit, but he's saying he has a push. Basically, when he goes into the corner, that car just wants to go straight. 41 in the wall, guys.
Jamie Cushing sail. Look like he comes off a turn 2 like he's shot out of a cannon. Watch him come off the turn and just sail by the 49 car.
And Jerry, every single lap and every single restart, it seems like this 8 car's got so much confidence in the top of that track. He strikes like a rattlesnake, man. He jumps right on him and tries to get all he can right off the bat.
You see the 5 car up ahead of Junior. He's running that high line too. He ran behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. that last run.
Question that Junior has been working on that high line, but he reported on it on his radio during this last caution period. This car will not work on the bottom. He experimented down there during the last run, lost a couple of positions. Looks like he's going to stay high all night on this track.
Right behind him, the 24 car. Whoa! Little contact from Gordon in the back of the 8 car. Sort of moves him up out of the groove, and Gordon goes right on by.
It looked like he was going to try that bottom lane right as Dave finished up with that. And then when he did that, his car didn't get through the corner very well, and the 24 got into it. And they're future teammates.
Well, the thing I'm thinking about right now, his father, Dale Earnhardt Sr., told Dale Jr., don't take any crap from anybody. I bet that 8 car catches that 24 and pays it back.
You know what? I bet Dale Jr. getting that top groove and trying to run the 24 down. Remember, hey, by the way, the 24 car hasn't had real good luck here recently. 5 consecutive DNFs.
Well, that 8 car's a red car, and I'll guarantee you right now, he's seeing red.
Here's what happened a moment ago. Watch the 8 pull down in the bottom groove.
That 8's not doing anything wrong. That 24 just didn't get out of the throttle and gave him a whack in the back of that car. Oh, man, if I'm Dale Jr., I'm hot right now.
You know what I'm doing, though? If I'm his crew chief, I'm going to try to get him.
The guy in the 24 has a championship to lose. He's in the chase. Brad?
Yeah, absolutely. And as Dale Earnhardt Jr. runs that higher line, speaking about Jeff Gordon, I was actually talking to Steve Letarte earlier, and we were talking about the racetrack, and he says, you know, this race starts in the dark and it ends in the dark. The spring race, though, starts in the daylight, and the track is warm and it cools down, so it changes much more drastically during the spring race than it does now. So going back to Earnhardt Jr., that allows him to go ahead and find that groove up high and start out and stay there throughout the night. So watch for him to come to the front with some.
His teammate, by the way, also a bit of a bulldog. Here's the bump a moment ago. Jeff Gordon into the back of the 8 car for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And that's the kind of bump that usually gets somebody turned around backwards. Junior not very happy.
Let's hear what he
time up there too, but he's, you know,
Jeff Gordon in 24 car trying to join the fray. There comes Gordon, running the bottom toward the middle of the racetrack.
Gordon seems to catch him just a little bit each lap, not much, and he's probably pedaling as hard as he can right now to get away from Junior.
I'd say he's motivated. He's got that thing in another gear right now.
Yeah, 2 goals: get to the front and stay away from that 8 car.
Jeff Gordon starts the night first in points and making his presence known. Dale Earnhardt Jr. moves into his groove and forget it.
I'll tell you what, he gives up and gives his next future teammate a little bump to get out of the way. Jeff Gordon's going to the front.
And it seems like it's just been a battle between Jimmy and Jeff.
Yesterday, he quit both practices early. On the second practice, he said, I don't know what more we can do to this car. It's pretty good. So quitting early, another Earnhardt trait he might be picking up.
That's the reason I felt like Dale Earnhardt Jr. was going to be the man to beat tonight, because he did quit early, and that's always a sign of having a good race car.
Look who's coming here. Earnhardt Jr. glances in the mirror, sees the 24 car closing in on him.
I'd tell Jeff Gordon, be careful what you wish for here. You want to catch this car and pass him, but man, you better be careful.
Yeah, he may want to get that on that yellow line. Just forget that white line. Get all the way down to where the grass is.
He just feels comfortable with staying on the top. And we're going to watch Jimmy Johnson now. I bet he tries a little lower, tries the middle, tries the bottom. Jimmy's been all over this racetrack. He's got probably the best handling car out here.
I bet you're going to be able to drive a Mack truck between that 24 and 8 when he passes him. He's not going to get too close. The one thing you're seeing right here, though, is these guys that run the bottom are really good on these short runs right after they go back green on these good tires. But as they run about 30, 40 laps, like we heard Junior say a while ago, that top groove starts coming in and these guys start coming back.
24 now right on the rear deck of the 8 car. Does the 8 go high and the 24 go low? Yes.
Yeah, I kind of predicted. You see a lot of room between these two guys.
I got to believe the 8's going to want to stay in front of the 24 for a while. Yeah, he just drives it off the corner.
He's not going to make it easy on Gordon. He's not going to go down there and run that groove again, though. He's not going to pull down that bottom groove like he did before.
Well, the only thing that's going to keep these two away from each other is if Jeff Gordon got on the radio and said, tell him I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I apologize. And he probably did that.
Would that make any difference to you if a guy hit you, got you sideways, and then apologized?
Man, I'd probably say, yeah, right.
Yeah, I got to believe Jeff Gordon is the kind of guy that would do that, though. Yeah, you'd beg for...
Well, these fans of these grandstands love this action, whether it's passing or...
Sailing by Biffle in the 16 and the 9 of Casey King. High side the 31 of Burton. We told you there was the contact between the 24 and the 8 earlier. Let's listen into some of the radio communication. Here's the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
Get me ahead of that 8. Man, I do not want to have to race him tonight. Hey, there's a car behind me.
Oh, you got to love it. And Jeff Gordon says, get me in front of that guy. Well, who's going to drive the car to do that? He's got to do that himself. It's just probably want some help from the spotter. Well, when you're in the seat and you're a little frustrated, you got to tell somebody and ask for some help. And it's usually your crew chief or your spotter you're referring to.
Tony Stewart, there's Tony riding along with him as he moves in and tries to take the spot away from the 24 car. That's 8th position.
Like Jeff Gordon thought about making it 3 wide, now does make it 3 wide.
They go by either side of the 45 of Kyle Petty. Kyle, by the way, a former winner here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Kyle was a meat and a sandwich on that one right there. He had to get out of there quick because these guys they mean business. It's 20 and 24. They're trying to get some ground made up.
They knew they weren't going to be just right, but they were going back to some stuff that they knew worked, and they may have to adjust on the car. Man, it's come to life now.
Well, Andy, in the countdown show before this race, I think that's what you're referring to. You know, I never heard Tony Stewart really act like that before. Kind of unsure. We tried a lot of different things. Let's hope it works. And he said that later on in the race is when he feels like the car is going to be the very best.
He was aggressive, too. He passed that 12 car, man. I thought he was going to get inside of him. I don't believe I want to get too close to that guy right now.
What a chase. 8 of the top 10 drivers right now are chase contenders. The only 2. Oh, the sandwich of Newman. Racing all over as they go by the 24 car. That is for 7th spot.
You see Carl Edwards now kind of sneaking up in his mechs. He's been working on his car throughout the night, getting it better and better. We're watching a monitor here upside our ABC booth. And he keeps getting quicker every time also. Every pit stop, car goes faster.
How about Kurt Busch not letting Jimmy Johnson retake the lead too easily, battling back and just pulling back in front of him?
I think he knows every lap that he keeps him back there that, he doesn't let Jimmy Johnson get out there and get a big lead on him. This will change over. This outside groove will come around, and it'll be faster after they run about 30 laps. And so you see now Jimmy Johnson gets him cleared.
Right now, Jimmy Johnson would be our chase points leader, and Kurt Busch would actually gain 2 spots all the way up to 5th position. Right side of your screen, battle for 7th again. Look at the 99 just come sailing in there, Carl Edwards.
And that's what Carl Edwards' car looked like last night in the book.
The 25 car on the bottom, running just about even with Earnhardt Jr. 4th position, that's for 13th spot.
The bottom, that's the reason they qualify on the bottom of the track, because it's just a farther distance on the top.
Getting ready to mix it up back here for 3rd position, the 5 of Kyle Busch, the 2 of Kurt Busch, and the 24 of Jeff Gordon. Remember, the 29 car is a lap car, and Kurt Busch, but he's running awfully well, about the same speed as these cars that are running back in 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Looks like Kevin Harvick's going to yield to these lead lap cars. He gave it a shot on the restart. Man, Busching way up on that racetrack. Kyle Busch.
Chase ticker toward the top of your screen. Now, the very top ticker obviously is running position here at the racetrack. Beneath that in the chase.
How in the hell do you go that fast? Hopefully.
Kyle Busch. Remember, he had a plan about moving that groove up once he took care of that right front tire.
It's like you said, to heck with that right front tire. He's going to go ahead and run up there now. Dave?
And last night before the Busch race, Kyle Busch was asked who he might put money on if he had to in the Busch race, and he said Jeff Burton, who started last. Guess who won? Jeff Burton. So today they asked, Kyle, would you bet on anybody today? And he wouldn't predict anyone, but he said, I've got a really good race car, and he's proven that all night long. On that last stop, just too tired.
You see Jeff Gordon gains a spot.
And you know when the night began, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Gordon led the battle for the chase by 9 points ahead of his teammate Jimmy Johnson. They have flipped positions at the moment. And this, of course, Jimmy's private playground. But Clint Bowyer still third. Who would have thought almost halfway through the chase, Dr. Jerry Punch, that Clint Bowyer would be a serious contender as we go green?
Randy could be the Cinderella story here. We see a lot of Cinderella stories in sports. We've seen him in college football this year. 5-time winner, Jimmy Johnson, leading him down. 4-time Charlotte winner. Jeff Gordon, his teammate, in 2nd spot. Ryan Newman, the pole sitter, back in the 12 car. Jeff Gordon in 2nd spot.
Still a little bit tight there through the middle, but best we've been. And about the same, it's just I totally got screwed in lap traffic that time. Yeah, it just feels like.
Look who's up front. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon behind. They've been handing off that #1 point seat back and forth. Alan?
The top 10, Jerry. You see Scott Riggs. He's up in the 6th place right now. Denny Hamlin's got that.
Updating the points here as of right now at lap 212. Jeff Gordon back atop the standings. Spring rubbers and adjustments like that. Log on to ESPN.com. Search word Tech Center. Jeff Gordon, the 4-time winner at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Coming down, will lead him down, and behind him, Clint Bowyer, Kyle Busch, Jamie McMurray, and David Gilliland. Good run for the 38 car.
Yeah, that's the first time all night long we've seen the 24 up front leading the race like he is right now. So let's see what he's got. So this car was a little bit tight.
Here comes Harvick now. He wants to try to get one of these laps back. He's driving really hard because it's the only way he can do it. He knows he only has a few laps to get it done here.
If the caution comes out right now, he can at least get one of them back, and he's 3 down right now, Kevin Harvick is. He needs a miracle tonight.
I'd be careful with him if I was Jeff Gordon because this is kind of a dangerous situation. You got Harvick with not much to lose. Gordon's got everything to lose at this point.
Harvick driving it for all he's worth, down 3 laps, being shown in 34th position. Now pulls right in behind the 24.
Boy, the slower you go, the worse that gets, too. He said he just backed off and let somebody go, and the thing just swapped around on him.
Okay, who's going to roll the dice in the pits now? We've seen fuel only in some of the cars up front, 2 tires. Let's find out. Go down to Alan Bestwick.
Well, David Gilliland having a terrific race. He's up in 3rd position. This team is setting itself up for the finish of this race. So the car top left of the screen, Yates Racing is going to take 4 tires, looking for a quicker stop when the final stop comes up a little bit later on. Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon comes in as the leader. First time tonight we've seen him here. He came on the radio and said, I don't know why we have to take left sides at all, but that is exactly what they're doing. They're not wearing a whole lot. Dave?
Track position 07, fuel only for the 2nd stop in a row.
Busch all the way on the inside to go 3 wide to try to make the pass.
And Jamie Murray just pulls it down. McMurray pulled it down off of turn 4, drove underneath the 66 car, made that pass. But take a look at the 2 car. He's done what he needed to do. He's kept the car out of trouble. And that's the big thing right there.
Got to give his crew chief, Gil Martin, some credit here, too. Because this has been rich spot.
Newman back in 3rd, beginning to move in on Scott Riggs. And how about that 24 car of Jeff Gordon moving in on all of them?
Check out this hornet's nest behind these guys.
30 cars on the lead lap, as you said, Andy, now with 91 laps to go. The 10, the 12, and the 24. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And now here comes Newman back to challenge for 2nd spot.
Yeah, there's another driver getting comfortable on the top of the racetrack that Ryan Newman is. I like the attitude of this car. The nose down on the ground, the back of the car up in the air, making maximum downforce. And this team has really had a great night so far tonight. Working on the car every stop. And look where it's got him now, up in the 2nd position.
Newman, a 7-time pole sitter at this racetrack. Remarkably, he's never won at Lowe's Motor Speedway. His best finish came 2nd back in this race 4 years ago in 2003.
They're sitting up there. They're racing hard up there. It's not just from pit position or pit strategy. That 12 car looks strong right now, and he wasn't this strong early in the race.
Ryan Newman has been a great qualifier, but just trying to catch a break, trying to catch some luck. And we asked him about the reversal of luck.
They say that there is such a thing as racing luck. I think we missed a lot of that. But I also believe, more importantly, that you create your own luck, and we didn't do enough of it.
And guys, just tracking their pit stops, they're one of the teams, as Alan talked about, setting themselves
tires. When I was driving the car, Andy, you know, if somebody said, you want 2 or 4, I'm going to give me 4 as long as I don't lose any positions.
Oh, yeah, you want your cake and eat it, too.
That's right, man.
These 2 guys running 2nd and 3rd.
Time of this race, he led for 96 laps. The 48 car spun out, and he dropped way back. And so, Dr. Jerry Punch, if I was Jeff Gordon, I'd hang on real tight tonight, my friend, because right now he's up there in that LSU Cal spot.
And an afternoon for upsets in college football. And remember, Jeff Gordon doesn't have the best record here of late at this racetrack. He has not finished a race at this track since October of 2004. 5 consecutive DNFs for Jeff Gordon.
Things heating up right now. Ryan Newman starting to run down that 07 car, Clint Boyer. Jeff Gordon right behind him.
The pit strategy, of course, could make a big difference in what happens in the chase for the Nextel Cup. 7 of Clint Boyer. Jeff Gordon, the 24. Welcome back to Lowe's Motor Speedway, giving you the big picture above this battle up front between Gordon and Boyer, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for over 50 years. Moving in on pit stops, and the 24 car moving in on the lead of the 07.
Yeah, he's been working himself to the front little by little every single lap, and now he's finally caught Boyer working the bottom side of that racetrack. Boy, you got to hand it to Clint Boyer. He's held on for a long time.
Remember, Jeff Gordon has had 5 consecutive DNFs at this racetrack. October of 2003, the last time he was able to make it to the checkered flag. The 2 car dropping back a little bit. Very, very strong about 4 or 5 laps ago, running laps quicker than the leaders, and now suddenly seems to be dropping back a little bit.
Yeah, we're hearing right now that he's lost a cylinder with the engine. We're not for sure yet, Alan.
That's the report coming over the team's radio. He thinks he might have dropped a cylinder. They're planning to pit around 278, now hoping for a caution to see if they can diagnose that problem. Remember, they had that problem happen in New Hampshire in the first race of the chase. The problem ended up being a small piece in the carburetor. What a night it's been for this team. Troubles, a rally, and now more troubles.
It's a tough break for Kurt Busch. He had a great race car and was coming to the front. He was running the fastest laps we were seeing on the board.
Or they always say, it seems like when they run really fast, then they blow up, right?
That's what they say.
07 car, Clint Boyer. Let's check in his pits with Dave.
Here's the quandary, Doc. The last time the 07 took tires on this race car, the caution when Bill Elliott crashed. That was about lap 189 to 191. I think they're going to have to take 4. But now Gil Martin told me this morning, one of the great things about this tire is it's hard. It'll last forever. Be interested to see what they'll do.
I'll be surprised if most, if not all of these leaders take 4 tires, because they have to have a full tank of fuel to make it to the end, and it takes about 14 to 15 seconds to get a full tank of fuel.
Doc, let's go down to Alan Bester.
And this pit stop from 8th place, Doc. He pitted at lap 211, did not get at 224 when many of the other front runners did. They are not set to make the finish with this car on this one more stop. But what they need now is for this race to stay green until everyone else cycles around to a pit stop. Then they need a timely caution flag to get back on an even fuel strategy.
Don't speed now, don't speed. 4,000.
Great pit stop, 13.6.
Yeah, that's a fast stop. I mean, that's one of the quickest we've seen all night long.
That's bad news, though. He's pitted here with 59 laps to go, and he can't run 59 laps. A lot of these other guys are going to make their last pit stop here under green if we don't have a caution.
Andy, how far you think they can go?
Well, it's a green flag pit stop, so they're not going to take the time to pull the hood pins and look under the hood. They'll make 4 tires, fill it up with fuel, and then hope after the stop cycle around that they get a caution flag to get a chance to have a look. But Kurt Busch on pit road now, getting his service.
He gave up the 5th position to come in for that pit stop, 13.4 seconds. A good pit stop. Bad news that he may be down a cylinder and they don't have time to even look. Jeff Gordon setting sail, moving by Michael Waltrip in the 55 car. Michael being shown in 23rd position. He is the first car a lap down.
We see this 24 car dive down in the corners, and we've seen it all night long. Really haven't talked about it. You see a little bit of smoke coming out from under the car. What that is, we got a caution.
Turn 2, contact.
Jeff Burton pretty happy with the car. May have a little bit of a shifter problem, having some problems going from 4th gear to 3rd gear. That's not an issue they can address here. 4 tires and fuel. Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon, and he said his car is pretty awesome right now. They're going to do 4 tires and fuel. Jeff Gordon looking for his first win since '99. Dave?
Bottom of the screen, Clint Boyer. 4 tires, no changes. This is the one that counts. Fresh rubber, the definite call here. And this is their opportunity. A little bit slow. Alan.
And Kurt Busch has come back
with the 5 car.
The big loser there was Clint Boyer. He lost a few spots.
Now watch the close call here. We talked about both these cars pulling out at the same time, the 24 and the 5, and they have to pull out wide. Now watch Jeff leaving here. Watch the 5 come out.
A little bit of a drag race down pit road. It really wasn't that close, 3 or 4 foot away from each other. But look at this.
Whoa, right at the line.
In just a moment. Pace car or pace truck pulling away. Airtime, I should say, 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon in Martinsville, Virginia. Kyle Busch and
Jamie McMurray in this 26 car trying to stay on the lead lap. He made that pit stop under green, and he's just trying to maintain this lead lap spot and hopefully get a caution so he can come back around. That was a tough break when he don't have the pit under green.
Well, right now, he just needs to use that clean air for the downforce and the speed and just trying to check out, drive as hard as he can, and hope for another caution flag, because that's all Jamie can do at this moment. We've always talked about how the cars out front just create a lot of downforce when you're out front like that, and that's what's going on with Jamie right now.
Here comes Jeff.
Jeff Gordon moving on the inside to take the spot away from Kyle Busch.
And he made that look easy.
Wow. You think he wants to get a good finish here? It's been a while.
Oh, somebody told him this is the last run right here to the checker. Somebody must have told him.
And what about the King's car? 43 for Bobby LeBlanc.
Right now, Jeff Gordon's out front running 29.70s compared the 30-40s with Stewart and Johnson, so a little farther behind than the leaders, that's for sure.
Amy McMurray doing a heck of a job staying in front of Jeff Gordon there, trying to be able to hopefully get a break and get that lap back. He is now on the tail end of the lead lap. He would be the 23rd car on the lead lap as of right now. More on Jeff Gordon. We'll check in with Jamie Little.
Well, Doc, how these guys are running tonight has really surprised this team in the 24. I talked to crew chief Steve Letarte earlier today, and he said, we haven't finished the last 5 races here. All we want to do is get 500 miles in. That's our goal. If we finish in the top 15, we're thrilled. But right now they're leading. They can't believe how this car has come around as the race has gone on. It's cooled down. Jeff Gordon may be taking over for Jimmy Johnson, going to victory lane tonight for the first time, as I mentioned, since 1999.
Well, Dave, I can tell you one thing. That 07 car, it's pretty easy to stay calm when you got a fast car, and he's got one now. But Jeff Gordon, he's a guy who's got a really fast car. About a tenth of a half faster than anybody in the field right now. He's got clean air right on the bottom of the track, running the fastest way around, and that's where it is.
If we stay green, they have made their final pit stop. They got to get it done on the racetrack. 41 laps to go. It is Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Newman, Boyer, and Jeff Gordon.
Don't act like that. Well, for Jeff Gordon, this place brought him his first pole and his very first win. That was in 1994. But lately, an awful streak of bad luck. He hopes to turn that around as he is driving for 5 titles.
Yeah, he's had some DNFs, multiple DNFs at this racetrack. But yeah, you're right. He's in the drive for 5. And if we look back over the Chase Series in history, he actually probably could have won 2 more championships. And so this is his year. Jeff Gordon's marching towards that title again.
And right now, he's leading in the points as we get caught up on our 12 Chase drivers as we get up to speed, beginning with Jamie Little.
Well, Susie, last weekend, Jeff Gordon won at Talladega. He only led a third of a lap, and he went to victory lane, and he told us on Thursday night qualifying that was the biggest win of his career. Can he back it up and win here tonight? We'll know in just about 38 laps. Right now, though, he says this car is awesome.
Back to the front. It happened again recently, and now he chases down Jeff Gordon.
Back up front, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon. And did we see a wisp of smoke from this car?
We've seen a wisp of smoke out of this car almost all night as it gets into the corner. And all that is that tire, when they run these cars in that coil bind setup and traveling so far, that tire rubs the hood or the top of the fender, makes just a little bit of smoke. We see it right there. Nothing to worry about. That's the kind of smoke you don't really worry about.
This guy's had a lot of bad luck here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. He just wants to get this night over with and probably try to stop that bad luck he's had here. 28 laps to go, and boy, he's got this race in control right now. His lap speeds are really good, and he's got to be feeling good about the way this car's handling right now. Look at the lead, such a big lead.
Gordon the leader, Boyer in second, Kyle Busch third.
He's got about 4 seconds to make up on Jeff, so maybe Jeff's pedaling back a little bit and giving some of that lead back. But Kyle Busch is flying.
Hear anything? Should we get a 10 to go unless somebody's really catching us?
Jeff Gordon talking about the way he's talking about how his car's handling, talking about 10 to go. Let me know with 10 to go. He's really going to guard what's going on out there at that point.
Back up front, less than 20 laps to go. This racetrack very special to one Jeff Gordon. When he started his career in Nextel Cup, this was the place that he got his very first pole in October of 1993. He got his very first win the following spring in May of 1994.
And Jerry, this is a very special place for Hendrick Motorsports also. They're located basically right across the street, down the way, just a little bit from this Lowe's Motor Speedway here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that is something that Hendrick loves when his cars win the hometown.
Jeff Gordon said the win last week at Talladega was sweet for lots of reasons, but it was the first time he was able to go to victory lane and have his wife Ingrid and his new little daughter Ella with him. And he was holding the baby up in victory lane. He said, what a different experience that was.
I know that was special. I love that shot of victory lane with that little baby in there. I know that means so much to Jeff Gordon. Like he might get a chance to do it again tonight. He can hang on.
You know, just watch that last lap time, Andy. It looks like Kyle Busch couldn't catch him that last lap, like Jeff Gordon outrun him that time. They both were in pretty clean air. They weren't negotiating much traffic at all, so pretty good comparison there.
There's the 24 car making a lap. Got to see sort of the relationship where he was and other cars that are on the racetrack here as we now have 21 cars on the lead lap. Final car on the lead lap, by the way, is the 8 car, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I really like that shot just a little while ago. I really let the people know how far ahead Jeff was and who he was having to race. Right now, he's got the clean traffic and nobody around him. Man, that's what you want. But as a driver, you're starting to hear the noises now, Andy. Something's going wrong. I'm hearing a vibration. You're talking to your crew chief.
Jeff Gordon's been in this position so many times, though. I think he's seasoned at this. I think he's just doing what he has to do. He's not, like you say, running the middle of the racetrack, not taking any chances around lap cars. He's got, 3 or 4 second lead now that he can play with.
See Kevin Harvick right there in the 29 car moving over for Jeff Gordon. He knows he's not in competition. Harvick's 5 laps down right now, having a horrible night. This night was over.
How much do you let yourself think about the fact that something has happened to him the last 5 consecutive times he's been here? Somehow, something has happened even in the late laps to keep him from finishing. In fact, he hasn't won here since 1999.
I bet he's thinking about all the times that he did win here, and that's what he's getting ready to do tonight. I bet he doesn't even think about those races where he fell out of the race. He's thinking positive thoughts right now.
And Jeff Gordon's thinking, I cannot believe this. I got such a big lead. And now I got to race my brains out again. And Kyle Busch is loving this part.
How about Jimmy Johnson? He's got to be loving it too, because now Jimmy Johnson up to 7th spot. And he'll get a chance to be able to make a charge here in the final 5 or 6 laps.
Oh, man, right now we're showing 12 laps to go. And you know the tensions are high with these drivers. They're thinking, I got another shot, baby.
This is why I like standing up here on top of the grandstand talking about it, not on the pit box.
What's the thinking on the 24 car? Let's check in where Jamie is caught up with the crew chief for Jeff Gordon, Steve Letarte.
Yes, and the whole team was like, oh, no, when the caution came out. So, Steve, as a crew chief now, these final laps, what do you do?
Hope your stuff's better than the guy behind you. We're going to stay out, stick with it. Our goal's 500 miles. I'd like to win, but 500 miles is our #1 goal. We're in it for the big picture.
You told me today you guys would be happy running top 15 right now. Do you feel like you guys are capable of finishing this thing and getting to victory lane?
I absolutely think we're capable. Jeff's a remarkable talent. He's really carried us all year long. He's carried us again tonight. We haven't had the best pit stops. I don't know if I've made the best pit calls, but hopefully this will be a good one. We'll stay out. Hopefully some of them guys back in the pack will stay out with us. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, there it is, Doc. He's going to stay out and hope to visit victory lane for the 81st time in his career.
Yeah, look at the windshield, the 24 car. Looks like oil or something on the windshield. Now we're being told there is oil around the racetrack, so they're going to take a little bit to clean this up. They're already dumping down some oil dry way down in turn 1. But that windshield, I mean, how bad?
We've heard Steve Letarte say the 24 car's not coming down pit road, so he's got what he's got. Here's the problem with that decision. Poor, the guy leading the race you think is in the best position, but if you don't pit and you stay out, every single car behind you can come in and you're just a sitting duck. So that's the chance you take.
Let's listen into Jeff Gordon's radio.
Stuff blown off, scrubbed off, whatever they got to do to get it right. Not like last on that Busch race.
Now he's looking for a clean racetrack on this restart. He really wants them to clean it up real good. Sounded like he had some problems watching the Busch Series race last night. Track was pretty dirty in 3 and 4, and he doesn't want to have to contend with that.
5 car. Kyle Busch in position to make his move, currently sitting in 2nd position. Let's go down and talk to his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, with Dave Burns.
Jeff's been strong. It's still fast. It's not as fast as the 24. Obviously, if the 24 wins this thing, it's going to be a great effort for the whole team.
And now with 10 laps to go, it looks like Jeff Gordon may be able to finally hold on and finish one here at this racetrack.
Jeff Gordon looks pretty good sitting out in front, and he's had a good lead, and everything's been going his way, but he's still got a little meat on the bone. We got a few laps to go here, and these are going to be real tension-filled laps because they've put a lot of speedy dry on the racetrack. These guys, where Jeff Gordon's been running that low line, it's going to be a little dirty down there, and I think Kyle Busch, with that high line he's been running, he's thinking maybe he's got an advantage right here.
What about the 07 car, Clint Boyer? Jerry, he's been liking the top lane a lot. He's been running the top lane, but for like guys like Andy said that love that bottom, they might have to change groups.
Now, what about the fact that Rick Hendrick owns both the 24 and the 5 car, and also, by the way, the 48 car. But Rick Hendrick talking to Jeff Gordon about the 5 car, who's awfully good back behind him.
Jeff, you got a copy, bud? 10-4. Okay, I told him not to wreck you and be careful. You saw he had you let him go. So don't be smart. Look at the big picture and let's finish this thing.
That's a very wise owner because he understands he's got at least 2 cars, maybe 3 cars in contention, not only for this race, but for a championship.
Okay, Rusty, you're leading the race, or you're leading the points, you're leading the race. You've got a guy hungry behind you without much to lose. What are you going to do?
I'm going to choke him down on the restart and come to the gears as hard as I can and try to get a couple car lengths on him, getting into turn 1 so he can't get on my bumper and make me loose.
Okay.
I got to get away from him.
If he does, he gets under you, what are you going to do? How hard are you going to race him?
Well, I'm going to have to race him pretty hard, but I'm not going to take myself out. But you know what? At this track here at Lowe's, Andy, it's a great question. It's hard to keep him doing that.
And remember, Kyle Busch is not going to be a teammate much longer. He's going to a different team, so how much do you want to play the team cooperation here?
Well, I think that's why Rick Hendrick came on the radio, because he knows that Kyle Busch is hungry and he's going to do whatever it takes for him to get a win for his team.
Yeah, for Rick Hendrick to come along and say, please don't wreck us, that's a pretty bold statement. You know?
Look at these guys. They said, okay, may the best man win.
And we got the boss in our pits here. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go down to the pit studio with Susie Colbert and Brent Doherty. Guys?
You know, I'm going to say for strategy, you have to give an A+ to Steve Letarte, Jeff Gordon's crew chief. Just think of last week, all the patience, sitting, waiting, and then finally leading the last third of the last lap to win it. And then the same thing today. They haven't even finished a race here in 3 years. So the strategy was, let's just make 500 miles. So put the goals a little bit low, not shoot for too much, and then look where he sits.
Oh, Susie, all I can say is the spring race at Talladega, Kyle Busch didn't have any drafting partners. He said his Hendrick teammate left him out on the dryer or on the line to drive by himself. Sitting second. I don't care what Rick Hendrick told that young man. He is going to get all over Jeff Gordon's bumper, and I'm going to tell you, we are going to have a shootout when this thing goes green. I can't wait. Oh, my goodness, this is going to be great.
You know, in our countdown show, we made such a big deal over Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson being teammates and friends, and, well, they're both going for the title here. How much could that get in the way? And now you're throwing Kyle Busch in the mix, too.
I'm sorry, that was Daytona in July. I said Talladega. Daytona in July. Kyle Busch is in the mix, and like I say, this is going to be a shootout.
Would you almost look at it for him right now like almost nothing to lose? This is his last run with this team.
He has absolutely nothing to lose. Next year, he's in a different uniform, a different team, and he leaves all this behind. But also, let's talk about Jimmy Johnson, he has recovered, come all the way back from 6th position from roughly 28, 29.
And we heard Rick Hendrick talking about to the 24 car to Jeff Gordon. Here's what Rick Hendrick had to say to Kyle Busch.
Kyle, you got a copy, Kyle? Yo. Jeff says if you look like you've got him, he'll let you go. You guys just be smart, okay? Sounds good. No wrecks, okay? I've had 2 already that were uncalled for. 10-4, buddy. Be smart.
Well, that's a pretty good advice right there out of Rick Hendrick, you know. You notice he snuck right there at the very end and said, no wrecks. He didn't say it at the top. He kind of eased that one in. And
he says, I hear you. But I'm going for the win.
Rick's a fantastic guy down there coaching his drivers along, and this has got to be a very nervous time for Rick Hendrick, Jerry.
I can remember once at Martinsville years ago when all 3 of his cars wrecked each other in the backstretch at Martinsville. I've never seen him so angry.
And Gordon is very, very concerned about having a clean racetrack. That's what's on Jeff Gordon's mind right now. He wants to get out there. But the good thing Jeff's got, he's got the clean racetrack in front of him. Don't have to race anybody.
The only disadvantage to that is if the racetrack is not cleaned off good enough, the first one to know is going to be Jeff Gordon because he's going to be the first one in there.
Well, you're full of good news, aren't you?
That's why he's so concerned about it.
Well, Andy, you're exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, you're in there and you're going to have to get this track cleaned off. You're the first guy there, and it's not fun sometimes.
Some of the 20s coming in.
Whoever, I mean, when you're running around about a foot off that track, you're going to hit it every now and then, and evidently it slowed this car down somehow. With the toe end having a problem, the right front fender being knocked in an 8 car, definitely went off the pace.
Talk about all-time winners in the NASCAR Nextel Cup racing. He wins, and who is 6th all-time? How about Jeff Gordon with 80 wins last week at Talladega? And how about his very first career victory? It came here at Lowe's Motor Speedway, May 29th, 1994. The celebration began, and a very young 23-year-old Jeff Gordon, overcome with emotion in victory lane, by being able to win in NASCAR's major leagues that early in his career.
It's really neat to see how much this sport means to Jeff Gordon. We saw it last weekend at Talladega. He won that race. He was so excited. I love that emotion.
Kyle Busch has never had a top 5 at Lowe's Motor Speedway. You know, the 07 has never won here. Got his first Cup win at New Hampshire. And by the way, the pole sitter back there, number 12, Ryan Newman, 7 pole positions in 14 races. He's never won here either. His best finish was 2nd. How about some hungry drivers here toward the front of that field?
Tell you what, this thing's running out when I shake it back and forth, so we must not have a lot in there.
That makes me a little nervous. I'm hearing Jeff Gordon say that when he weaves his car back and forth, that it's starting to miss a little bit, so he's a little bit concerned about how much fuel he has in the tank. That'll probably be okay if they get going, but it could stumble on this restart.
I'm going to tell you, one guy I'm really liking where he's running right now, Ricky Rudd. Boy, he's had a good run. The 90s in the 10th position. And behind him, A.J. Allmendinger. We're seeing drivers up there in the top we don't normally see. But I don't like it when a driver says my car's starting to miss a little bit. Won't run right. And he's leading the race. Talk about a lot of tension there.
Steve Letarte looking very poised, composed. I guess you got what you got, Andy. Nothing you can do there if you're a crew chief to sit there and watch.
It is so frustrating to sit on that box. Nothing you can do. You can't touch the car. It's all in the driver's hands. And you got all this nervous energy. You're trying to figure out what to do with it.
So many questions. What about the racetrack? Does it have enough grip there? You're going to be the first guy to find out. How about that windshield with oil all over it? How much can you see? How about the fuel situation? Is the engine going to sputter? And oh, by the way, is someone going to run over me from behind that really wants to win this, like maybe a teammate or somebody else? And all I want to do is win the race, but I really want to win the chase.
Kyle Busch has got he's always got another gear on these restarts too, so it's going to be nip and tuck here.
We're going to get Jeff Gordon leading the points right now by 39 points over Jimmy Johnson. But Clint Bowyer is only 83 behind, and he's thinking, I hope you guys take each other out, and I might be leading this title when it's all over.
I'm betting Clint Bowyer is going to commit to the top side of the racetrack right off the bat here and just take what he can get.
Well, right now, I'm taking a look at the point standings here. Tony Stewart, 220 points behind. We got 3 players right now. The 24 car, Jeff Gordon, 48 of Jimmy Johnson, and the 07.
Jeff Gordon has won more on 1.5 mile racetracks than any other active driver. He has 12 wins on these kind of racetracks. He knows how to get it done. You saw his very first victory came here when he was very young, driving for Hendrick back in '94, so he understands that what you have to do here to hold off some folks in the final laps.
I don't think I'd want anybody else driving my race car but Jeff Gordon in this situation. He knows how to get this done. Not saying it's a done deal, but he's the guy I would love to have in my car in this situation.
No, I wouldn't want to predict anything right now, but look at Rick Hendrick. He didn't wear his shoes out walking in circles trying to get this race over. It's a nervous car owner right now.
Yeah,
It'll be 5 laps to go, guys, and this is going to be an unbelievable shootout. My main concern right now, will the car stick in the corner with all the oil dry down there that's not really had tire rubber run through it yet?
I'm nervous, and I don't have a dog in this fight.
I wonder what's going through Rick Hendrick's mind. And Jeff Gordon, we talked about all his wins on 1.5 mile racetracks over the years. He hasn't won on a 1.5 mile yet this year until tonight. These guys thinking about what could happen.
If the 24 gets into turn 1 and slides up about 1.5 lanes and the 5 car gets underneath of them, and it's a drag race down into turn 3, Jeff Gordon might have that momentum on the top of the racetrack to hold off that 5 car, because that bottom lane off of turn 4 is dirty right now, guys.
Lots of time to think about what could happen in those cars. And we're going to find out what's going to happen as the pace truck pulls away. Can Gordon hang on? What about Kyle Busch? Will he listen to team orders? Don't wreck each other, guys. Big picture. You said Clint Bowyer will go high. Will he go high? We're going to find out. Green flag with 5 laps to go. Here they come. 5 car underneath the 24. 24 car must be sputtering.
And take a look at Ryan Newman. He just checked out. The 5 cars under the 24, they both got slowed down. And Ryan Newman said, adios, I am out of here.
Clint Bowyer couldn't get to the top because Ryan Newman was already there.
Jeff Burton down on the bottom of the racetrack. The 31 car, he's made a move, but Ryan Newman pulling away.
And the Penske team is on their feet right now, freaking out, going, how did we just get back in the game? And Jeff Gordon can't believe it.
battle with the 5 and the 31. Kyle Busch now falls in line behind Jeff Burton, who's in behind Clint Boyer in the 07.
Here comes Kyle Busch on the top.
Look at the 99 Carl Edwards. He's kind of getting in the picture right now. He's in a 6th position. 3 laps to go.
Jeff Gordon trying to run down Ryan Newman. Whoa, Newman up in the wall. In the wall. The 12 car up across the racetrack and tags the wall with 3 laps to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, he was digging for it. Never has won here. Wanted it so badly. At 3 laps to go, the car break.
God, what?
And we're hearing Jeff Gordon
running
thinks,
out, we're going to finish better than coming in.
Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon saying his car is sputtering. He doesn't know what's going on. Thinks maybe he's out of fuel. But Steve Latarda's crew chief said you should be fine right now. He said stay out right now. And at least if we run out, we hope to stay in the top 10. So see what happens here.
Right now, Clint Boyer's got him in his gun sights. Boyer's got a good car, too.
Well, let's take you back to the restart here with 5 laps to go.
And it ran out of gas.
Now, Gordon suddenly slows. You hear him say the thing's running out of gas. It sputters. Watch the 12 car go around the outside and just take off.
And the 5 car, he's just too loose on the bottom to stay in the throttle. He can't get any momentum going.
Ryan Newman pulling away. Now Gordon chasing him. 3 laps to go in turn 2. Now watch the 12 car just snap sideways.
Man, it looked like he was gone from here, and then all of a sudden.
Restart, guys. Newman right before that uttered a phrase which indicated he would be throwing caution to the wind. Speedy drying things in the turns didn't bother him. He was going to go for the lead. Then after the car spun and hit the wall, he said blew a left rear tire.
And the problem is the left rear tire is still up on it. It doesn't look like it's blown out. As a driver, though, you can feel that maybe you thought that's what it was, but as the car came by on our cameras, I didn't see the left rear tire flat on it.
Tough break either way. Man, that was just tough to see. And now what do we have? We got a car leading the race that may be out of fuel.
Got the 48 of Jimmy Johnson on pit road. He comes down and try to get some fuel. And what about Jeff Gordon? On the flat?
This is a bad thing. If you're running on the flat, it means you're picking up all the debris on the apron, but it's his only choice he's got. The pickup is in a right rear corner of these fuel cells. And if he's on the bank and the fuel's going to run away from it, the car is going to try to die.
And so is Kyle Busch.
Yeah, we see his teammate doing the same thing exactly. So these guys are worried about fuel.
This is real reminiscent of what we saw with Tony Stewart at Kansas City right before the rain came. Tony thought he had to race 1. He was on the apron. But, Jerry, the problem here is if he goes back, he's got a lot of debris in those tires now.
And we saw Greg Biffle win that race on the apron, hanging on with just ounces of fuel. There's going to be 1 attempt, and NASCAR allows only 1 attempt, Andy, at the green, white, and checker.
1 attempt, and that is it. And, boy, the 5 is out of gas. The 24 is out of gas. They're still running, but they're very, very concerned. You see the 5 wiggling back and forth, trying to get fuel to the right rear corner of that fuel cell.
This will be the 5th green, white checker of 2007. Daytona, Bristol, Talladega, and Michigan in August.
Our graphic shows all these guys should be completely out of fuel, sitting on empty. The problem here is that pickup is in the right rear corner, and once these cars get the G-forces in the corner, that fuel will go over to the right side. But on this restart, it's going to be over in the left, so it could stumble. These cars that are low on fuel may not get going good.
This is NASCAR's version of overtime, and we've already seen some big-time upsets today in overtime. Triple overtime, and Kentucky stuns #1 LSU. Folks, coming in tonight, #1 in the points was the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Does he get stunned in overtime in a NASCAR race? It's been that kind of day in sports.
Tony Stewart right now is 4th in the points, 206 points behind the leaders, and he is really hoping that the 24 car of Gordon's going to run out so he can make some ground. But the guy it looks like he's really going to benefit is Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer has been the Cinderella story this entire chase. Got his first win at New Hampshire. Been able to move up to 3rd position, the highest he's ever been in his brief career in the point standings.
This could be very interesting, even if they go back to green. will the tires on the 24 be cleaned off enough that he can get grip to get through the corner?
Here they come. Pace truck pulls away. Jeff Gordon will lead him down. Does he have the fuel to get up to speed? Watch Boyer. He knows that Gordon may not have a lot of fuel. Which way does he go? Gordon in the middle groove. Does Boyer go high? Gordon now coming up to speed. Watch the 5 car. How much fuel does he have as well?
Looks like Gordon gets a lot better restart this time.
Even he doesn't know how much fuel's in the tank. Is it going to sputter? Here comes the 31 car. Burton, who won it last night in the Busch competition from the back of the pack.
Can he make it on field? Jeff Gordon's got a good hand on the car.
White flag for Jeff Gordon. 1 lap to go. Does he have enough?
Unbelievable. This 07 car is trying to run him down, but doesn't look like Gordon's going to have a problem. His car's stuck good. He's got a half a lap to go.
It's been since 1999 that Jeff Gordon has been able to come home and win at this racetrack. He has not finished a race in 3 years, but folks, tonight, Jeff Gordon wins again at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Got to hand it to that 24 team.
Unbelievable. I would have never bet that the 24 would have enough grip to get through the corner after running on the flat.
He's got a horseshoe up their butt, but keep it up there. Great job, guys. Woo, that's awesome. Charlotte.
Great effort there, and I bet Rick Hendrick is just sighing a big sigh of relief, a big smile on Rick Hendrick's face. His drivers finished 1st and 3rd. Let's go down to Dave.
Well, he just said to me, I don't think I can take a lot more of this. What was going through your mind there?
Well, you know, first off, we wanted to tell Jeff and Kyle, hey, let's think big picture.
Oh, we heard that. Told not to wreck each other.
All right. And then Jeff said he thought it stumbled, so I thought we're out of gas. And Jimmy ran out of gas. Oh man, it's a great win, and I'm just glad it's over.
You can sleep well tonight.
Oh yeah, I can sleep well tonight.
All right, let's go to Mike Massaro.
And we're very happy, Steve Letarte. Steve, the first thing you did was go down to Alan Gustafson. What'd you say to him?
Well, I just thanked him because on that restart before we went out, we ran out of gas getting into 1. It stumbled, and the 5 easily could have spun us out. But that kid in the 5 showed a lot of maturity right there. He really gave us a break, and that's what allowed us to win tonight.
How stressful was that?
More stressful than it needed to be. It could have just went green. It would have been okay. But it was a good day for us. The DuPont Chevrolet ran well all day. The pit crew did good, and now I just need to get an update on the Red Sox score.
We'll work on that for you, Steve. Of course, Steve from Maine, very interested in what's going on in Boston tonight, Doc.
Wow, final results. Jeff Gordon takes the win. Clint Boyer in 2nd. Kyle Busch, his teammate, back in 3rd. Jeff Burton finishes 4th, making up for the disappointments the last couple of weeks. And Carl Edwards, 5 chase drivers finishing in the top 5. Edwards, by the way, finishing 5th. Well, he had enough fuel, guys. He had enough fuel. Let's check in once again with Dave.
With Clint Boyer now, who had a good run to the end there.
Let's take a look at our Chevy winning moment. It would be Jeff Gordon, the 4-time Cup champion, coming down for the checkered flag with his Chevrolet. What an effort for Gordon tonight, holding on despite the fact that the tank was almost dry. And Jeff Gordon extends his points lead in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup to 68 points over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. It was 9 points coming in. There, Kevin Harvick, who had that tire issue very early tonight, he slides all the way back into 8th spot. Jeff Gordon, the long dry spell, just finishing a race here, not since October of 2003, but that's all over. Let's go down to victory lane at Jamie Little.
Doc, it was 13 years ago. Jeff Gordon got his first ever Cup victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, at Lowe's Motor Speedway, and tonight he comes through victorious. Jeff, what were those final moments of that race? His beautiful wife Ingrid here. What were those closing moments like for you?
Well, I can't tell you how many times we tried to give this one away. Oh, man, I don't know where to start. You know, just an incredible day for the DuPont Chevrolet team, and I got to thank all these guys. I mean, they just never gave up, you know. And Jimmy Johnson, I'm not sure what happened to him. You know, he had us all covered, and when I saw they had problems, you know, I thought that was an opportunity for us. We had an awesome race car. The best the car was all night was, you know, there towards the end. It was just on rails. So, you know, I just kept saying, no caution, please, no caution, no caution. And I saw oil coming on my windshield. I saw the 66 was leaking it. Everybody's going everywhere. I knew the caution was going to come. And then the thing ran out of gas. I was having trouble with the pickup. It was on the banking, and all the fuel was running out of the pickup. And I wasn't smart enough to know to go around the apron the first time. And then even on that last one, on the restart, the tire spun so bad that Clint Boyer, he could have gone right by me, and he gave me a big shot in the rear bumper, and it kind of got me going again. So great day. I just got to thank DuPont and Pepsi and Quaker State GMHC, all the folks from Nicorette and Georgia Pacific and Sparkle brand. What an awesome, awesome day today was. I mean, this is what we've been looking for, is getting us a win in Charlotte. What a great comeback. And I owe it all to those guys right there, Steve Letarte, all the guys on this team, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, engine department, chassis. We're here at home, so we got to thank all those guys and all the people that work so hard right here locally.
And NASCAR's backyard, Doc, he takes home the victory for the second week in a row.
Thank you, Jamie. Congratulations to the NASCAR Nextel Cup Bank of America 500 winner Jeff Gordon, his 6th win of the year, 81st of his career. And by the way, he extends his chase lead to 68 points over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. Next week, we head to Martinsville Speedway, NASCAR's oldest track, getting down on the wire. Race number 6 in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Our coverage of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Suffer watching our coverage of ESPN on ABC.